the audience and slap me, okay? Fair enough. All right. Before I tell you my story, I'm going to give you a very brief bio of who I am and kind of how all this story came to be. I spent the first 13 years of my professional life as a television news reporter, and since then, the last 39 years, I've been a lobbyist, working for special interest groups in North Carolina, representing groups like the Architects from North Carolina, the North Carolina Realtors, and for the last 13 years, I've been the executive for the North Carolina Beer and Wine Distributors Association. So, yeah, there you go. Enjoy our products responsibly. Stephen, I love you, and even though you conned me into doing this, I still love you, okay? So, give you a little bit of context on who I am. I represent these groups, like I said. In 2013, I had a unique opportunity. A good friend of mine who's in the golf industry, his job is to rate golf courses around the state of North Carolina in terms of its quality. He calls me up on the phone. He says, "Hey, Tim, why don't you come down to Charlotte on Tuesday? There's a golf course that's just been purchased, and we're going to meet with the new owner of the golf course, and we're going to give him some tips and some evaluation on how he might be able to improve the golf course." So I get in the car, I drive down to Charlotte, and my friend Kevin says, "Now this guy's a real estate tycoon. You probably have heard of him, and just give him the best feedback you can." So I get out of the car, and a couple minutes later, I find myself standing face to face with Donald J. Trump. It's 2013, folks. That's 2 years before he announces he's going to run for president. 3 years before he wins. So, anyway, I spend the next 4.5 hours with 7 people, including the future 45th President of the United States. And he wants to get our feedback. First of all, he's a huge man. I'm 6'2", pretty big guy, about 220 pounds here. I felt dwarfed by him. The second thing is, you may find this hard to believe. In that context, he was actually a nice guy. And I had no previous contact with him before, since, or otherwise. But for 4.5 hours, he was a fairly nice man. He actively solicited our advice on how he could improve his property. He had a little man who was walking around with us who was taking notes. And if we would say, "Mr. Trump, you need to take those trees out over there so that you can get a better view of the lake," he would point to the little man next to me and say, "Write that down." As a follow-up, I actually went back, and all those changes were made 6 months later, for what it's worth. But the closing comment was, we had just finished the round of golf, and we're standing there together, and he says, "So, Tim, tell me again what it is you do." And I said, "Mr. Trump, I represent the beer and wine industry." And he says, "Tim, alcohol has never touched my lips, and it never will touch my lips. My brother died of alcoholism, and I am never, ever going to touch alcohol. And even though you sell that product, you're still okay." I went, "Thank you very much." So, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is this. Life is an adventure. You never know who you're going to meet. I've had the opportunity today to meet people I've never laid eyes on before, and I feel better for it. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the people you're with, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. Thank you very much.